for our guy. 5 minutes.
Hi, I'm Poroburu. I'm with Court.Fun. It's a project for the Solana Policy Hackathon going on right now. So it's a dispute resolution protocol on Solana. So let's start. Web3 has a governance account. I made my slides marked down on Hackathy. It's for all developers, I guess. Blockchains have have digital sovereignty. Nation states can't control or censor blockchains, but blockchains also lack protection for users. Code's law works for smart contracts, but it's not sufficient for all human use cases. So my product, Court.Fun, Solana-based launchpad for dispute resolution organizations, and there's two sides of this marketplace or the product. So there's the juror mechanism where dispute resolution organization members can stake blue chip tokens, providing economic justice to be elected as jurors in arbitrable disputes. And then there's the arbitration mechanism to be implemented by protocols. And they compose Court.Fun dispute resolution organizations by implementing that arbitration interface to trigger disputes. And a quick lesson on game theory, how this all works. So there's this idea of a shelling point where people tend to choose by default in the absence of communication an outcome in order to avoid communication failure. So the canonical example is, say you're in New York City, you need to meet someone, you go to Grand Central Station at the information booth at noon because you don't have any other options. So how this Court.Fun works? So first, a trigger is disputed. Dispute is triggered. There's two interfaces. So this project is based on Kleros on Ethereum. So there's two ERC standards. So ERC 792 is the arbitration standard, and the second one is the evidence standard. So there's just interfaces, and on Solana, I imagine this would be cross-program invocation. You just add it as an interface. Jurors are elected, and the probability of being selected as a juror is based on how much blue chip tokens you staked with the dispute resolution organization. Jurors vote. They review the evidence and choose outcomes defined by the arbitration parameters and how disputes are resolved. Outcomes are enforced by smart contract execution. The dishonest minority with the stake in arbitration fees to the honest majority. And you might be wondering, what if there's an honest minority and then there's exponential appeals, and you could appeal all the way up to essentially the court hierarchy to a Supreme Court. So this is my fun plot twist, network state plot twist on Kleros. So state.fun. So state.fun empowers network states to build sovereignty by composing these dispute resolution organizations into a court hierarchy. And then there's the role of the network state founder, and he's the one making partnerships with these protocols to use these dispute resolution organizations for arbitration. And then I suppose the broader impact is maybe we're all, like, as Web3 people, libertarian leaning, but there's also spaces for other moral frameworks, or so I just listed some randomly, or anarcho-syndicalist or non-usury finance, so that's no interest. So like Islamic finance, I've heard that. And then why this matters. So this gives the legitimacy to network states by the factor
1 minute.
By the factor of liquidity in each smart contract that appoints this network state as an arbitrator. So my current progress, I'm working on the cypherpunk hackathon on Solana. I've been working on this for 2 months, onboarding into Solana. Solana is interesting because their programming model is kind of like, you see to unlearn what you know on Ethereum. Well, I'm actually a Cosmos developer, so if you think of like on Cosmos, it'd be like a state machine of like key value pairs, and which all gets like aggregated into like a Merkle proof, or the hash on Solana is all account based. Yeah, and that's just my MVP, how I plan to implement it for the hackathon. And the end.
All right, a round of applause. Okay, we have 3 minutes. Let's actually ask some genuine questions because I really like the network state stuff. I'm hoping someone asks about that. But 3 minutes for questions. First question.
What kind of disputes can be resolved using the Court.Fun?
Essentially, like anything that can be implemented by a smart contract, so that's what's enforceable. And you also got to think of what evidence base of disputes you want to cover. So also like what you fit on the blockchain or on like IPFS, and the canonical dispute that Kleros provides is a freelancing platform where Alice hires Bob to make a website, and Alice is unhappy with Bob's work. So there's 3 outcomes for the jurors to vote on: is refund Alice, give Bob more time, or give Bob the funds from escrow. So there's a whole list of services. So it's like arbitration as a service or truth as a service. So you could do escrow, curated lists, content moderation.
I'd like to add, like you made me. This might be left field, but like I've been thinking about your presentation yesterday as well. But you could also resolve in a decentralized way prediction markets.
Yes.
When, hey, who won this thing? Then this mechanism comes into in a decentralized way, say who the winner is.
Yeah, there was an example on polling market where the market was, would Zelensky wear a suit by July? And then there was this dispute, and then it was handled on UMA, but then there was some controversy on how it happened. So that, yeah, it's an interesting case study of this.
Okay, we have maybe 1-2 questions.
The Kleros guarantee like fairness or usable judgment. That guarantee I don't know.
I don't think you can necessarily guarantee fairness, but say you have like a dispute resolution organization that has a moral crisis. In Kleros cases, they would say like fork their Pinkerton token, but in my case, well, I don't have a token, like I'm a launchpad. So like your dispute resolution organization is responsible for your precedents. So if you do a bad job, then there's another dispute resolution organization to take over.
All right, thank you so much. Applause for